It's morphin' time. Pterodactyl.
Hi there, this is Dante with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing you the It's Wrestling Time post show. And for tonight, I'll be reviewing AEW Rampage and Friday Night Smackdown. But let's talk about the news that broke today during SmackDown. So Fightful Select had reported that a source told them to tune into SmackDown so that they can get an updated on the whole Sasha Banks Naomi situation. And as we found out, Sasha Banks and Naomi have been indefinitely suspended and have been stripped of the tag titles, as announced by Michael Cole during SmackDown. And then, I guess you want to say a slap to the face to Sasha Banks and Naomi. There's going to be a tournament to crown the new women's tag team champions. How the hell can you have a tournament when you literally only have two teams? You have Shayna Baszler and Natty. And then you have Doudrop and Nikki ASH. 3 if you count Zelina and Carmella. So what? Like, you're going to bring... You wasn't expecting them to be suspended, neither was I. So, like, what? What does that mean? You're gonna bring people up from the main from NXT to fill in the gaps? It's like this is like a slap in the face to Sasha and Naomi. Seriously, all they wanted was a meaningful rivalry and feud with Nikki ASH, and Doudrop, and to have their titles be defended. But they couldn't do that, and now they're going to have a tournament? How are you going to get the teams for this? Like, okay, you call someone up. You put them in this tournament. Then who wins? And then what? You separate everybody else? You split them up? It's like Sasha Banks and Naomi shouldn't even re-sign with the WWE if I were them. Honestly, they shouldn't. Not after this. Like, it's just so, like, frustrating. So frustrating that they want the tag titles to mean something, but they get treated like a joke. So what's going to happen after the tournament? Like, what? Are they going to be defended more often? Instead of unifying the men's tag titles, they should unify the women's, because there's not enough for a division. Like, you released half your roster, you split up the Iconics, you split up the Riot Squad. You split up everybody. Oh, and then you wanted the tag team champions to have a singles run. Like, you were going to have Naomi fight Bianca Belair. And it's rumored that Sasha Banks is going to fight Ronda Rousey. Like, what's up with that? Like, seriously. Honestly, props to Sasha and Naomi for standing up and walking out. I don't blame them one bit. But seriously, like... Oh, okay. You have Sasha and Natty. You have Shayna Baszler and Natty. You have Doudrop and Nikki ASH. And you have Carmella and Zelina. And then what? You're going to call up what? Maybe Toxic Attraction? I don't even watch NXT, so I couldn't tell you besides Toxic Attraction who else is on part of this. But I did not agree. I do not agree with the decision to strip them of the titles and to crown new tag team champions. I disagree with that. Like I said, I know I've said this twice already. It's just a slap in the face to Sasha and Naomi. And I'm thinking that WWE is doing this because they're hoping they come back and try to reclaim their titles. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if WWE tries to turn this into a whole storyline. But what do you guys think of this whole situation? Seriously, because it's an ugly situation, and it's pretty obvious they're just trying to save face. They really are. You know, and their titles weren't even supposed to be defended till Money in the Bank. Like, that's a whole 2 months from now. So, what? Not even a title defense on SmackDown? I don't know. It's just crazy. And I honestly really hope Sasha Banks doesn't resign. She goes to Hollywood. She goes to AEW. And Naomi, clearly nothing's going to happen to Jimmy Uso. More on that later. But still, like, I think it was disappointing in my opinion. Yeah. Expecting them to get suspended. Yeah. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised they got suspended. After all those reports surfaced, yeah, I'm not surprised. at all. But let's kick this review off with the AEW Rampage kicked off with the trios match. It's the House of Black versus the Fuego del Sol and Dark Order's 10 and Evil Uno. Good way to start off Rampage. I don't want to say it was it was a decent match. I would say this right now. I'm not surprised House of Black won. Obviously, they have momentum going into Double or Nothing, especially at the end. That triangle came out, and they showed a tombstone with House of Black's name on it. So I'm really excited about that. What are you guys looking forward for Double or Nothing? Then we get an FTR segment, and this is that they accept Roppongi Vice's challenge, that they want the IWGP tag titles, and Roppongi Vice makes the tag team division a joke, but it's not a joke to Dax. So as you guys recall, on Dynamite, Roppongi Vice did challenge FTR for those titles, so it's going to be a good match. I know that for sure. Then we get Shawn Spears versus Big Damo. Obviously, this match was mostly sent as a message to Wardlow. Shawn Spears was getting dominated at the beginning. Michael 101591 says, Double or Nothing shaping up to be a good show. Yeah. And next week, all you guys know something about Double or Nothing. He was getting dominant at the beginning, but then he turned things around and ended up winning the match. And he called Wardlow's name as he hit the C4 to Big Damo. And he says he's Wardlow's kryptonite, and he left him 6 feet. He's gonna leave him 6 feet lying down. So, and he said this match was just to showcase Shawn Spears and what he's going to do to. I'm looking forward to debuts at Double or Nothing. Shocked to see Killian Dane, aka Damo, on Rampage. Killian Dane, yeah, definitely. Then we get an Undisputed Elite segment, and Adam Cole says he finds it poetic that he will face Kyle O'Reilly in the finals. Well, he thinks he's going to face Kyle O'Reilly in the finals. And he says, and then Kyle O'Reilly says Adam Cole is one of his best friends. And the Hardy Boys say that the 2000s was all about the Hardy Boys. The 2010s and the 2020s was all about the Young Bucks. I cannot wait for the Hardy Boys versus the Young Bucks. That's going to be an amazing match. In my personal opinion, not that I don't want to see this match, but in my personal opinion, the Young Bucks versus the Hardy Boys should have been their swan song. They should have been the last team they fought in AEW, so that after they, whether they win or lose, they could just ride off into the sunset. That's just me, but nevertheless, I'm pretty excited about that match. And then we get the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Quarterfinals match. It's Red Velvet versus Kris Statlander. This was originally supposed to be Hikaru Shida, but apparently she got injured. And let me see. Off topic, did you hear what happened to? Yes, I did hear about that. I'm gonna make a video about that after I finish this, but I gotta get my notes. I gotta put the stuff together. So just keep an eye out for a video that I'm gonna make. This is a good match. I don't understand why AEW can't give us this every single week, whether it be on Dynamite or Rampage. Like, why can't we get this? This was a good match. Chris Jericho, you guys know Chris Jericho's on commentary, naming Red Velvet the Sports Entertainer of the Year. And every time, the first one was QT Marshall, he lost. Red Velvet gets named, she loses. So it's like kind of a pattern. They keep losing. So much for being sports entertainers. So after the match is over, the baddies attack Kris Statlander. Ruby Soho, who was on commentary, comes to her aid, but she also gets beat down. Then Anna Jay comes out and she steals Smart Mark Sterling's crutch, and she goes after them. I will say this though, Jade did challenge Anna Jay at Double or Nothing, so there's a rematch because they did fight before. Okay, so this next segment, so Men of the Year segment, and it cuts to Sammy Guevara and Frankie Kazarian. They're like in the outside or something, and they destroy the TNT title. I hope Soho wins, even though I like both her and Statlander. So it wouldn't matter who wins then, right? I don't understand why it seems to me like they're trying to turn Sami Guevara face when he's clearly a heel. I mean, the audience booed him when he won the TNT title. So I really don't get that booking. Like, is he a face? Is he supposed to be face? I thought he was supposed to be a heel. I think he should be heel. But I don't know what this constant thing that he's doing is. And that's just the one thing that's kind of confusing me. Like, is he a heel? Is he face? I know last week on Rampage they came for the face. They came to save Frankie Kazarian, but I don't know. Like, I thought they were supposed to be heels. I'm just kind of confused. Granted, not that confused. That showed that they don't care about the TNT championship. Well, remember there was two TNT championships, so I think they destroyed one, but still, like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Sami Guevara. All right, so then we get. I think he is supposed to be heel too. Yeah, right? And yeah, he's acting like a face, so I don't know. All right, so then we get a Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Tony Storm segment. Britt tells her high pressure match, and she basically says is Tony Storm gonna run away? And then Tony Storm fires back with saying, "Can Britt win without her friend?" So really looking forward to match. I think Tony Storm's gonna beat Britt Baker. I like Britt Baker, but I think that she's going to win. So the main event featured Blackpool Combat Club versus Dante Martin and Matt Sydal. I have to say this was a good match. Let me see. They don't know what to do with Sami. Yeah, I think that they honestly don't know what to do. He split from the inner circle. I don't understand why we didn't get Sami Guevara versus Chris Jericho. We should have gotten that instead of Chris Jericho with Santana and Ortiz. So I actually really dug this match. Like, this was a great tag team. I really like how at one point, like, Moxley was like elbowing Dante Martin in the ring, and then like on the side you had Bryan Danielson put Matt Sydal in a sleeper. That was cool. After that match, Bryan got injured between the ring and the. Yeah, I was gonna get to that. So Dante broke free at one point by putting his foot on the bottom rope. I really like the double underhook that Bryan did to Matt Sydal. That Meteora from the ring apron to Bryan. Ouch. But in the end, John Moxley and Bryan Danielson win, and the Jericho Appreciation Society attack them, and it just cuts off. Like, literally, it just cuts off. Like, spoiler alert, I know when after Dynamite, video surfaced of Bryan getting his leg in between. Supposedly the injury is kayfabe, but they didn't show that on TV. They just literally cut off in the middle of the brawl and basically said that they're out of TV time. What happened to like going over TV time? At least at 5 minutes. It's not gonna hurt. So while I did think Rampage was decent, better than SmackDown, I will say that. I just felt like it wasn't as strong as usual. I don't get why they're trying to make Sami Guevara face. I also didn't like that the main event just basically cut off without us showing what happened to Bryan. So I'm gonna give Rampage an 8 out of 10. Just for those two things. Aside from that, it was a good show, but if you take those two things out, like if the main event would have just ended with Bryan and Moxley winning, and you don't have that Sami Guevara segment, I probably would have given it a Ty Dillinger, a perfect 10. But yeah, no, I can't give it a Ty Dillinger this week. Michael 101 also giving it an 8 out of 10. So that's it for Rampage. Now let's talk about everyone's favorite show of the evening, Friday Night SmackDown. Oh, Joe Shipley also giving it an 8 out of 10. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so I try my best to take notes, people, but it's just kind of hard sometimes. Like, let me show you guys my notes for SmackDown and side comments too. Okay. Snore down time. Yeah. All right. So the Bloodline kicked off Friday Night SmackDown talking about the Undisputed the Unification match. Honestly, the whole point of this segment was just to hype up the unification match. And now I really didn't want to get too hyped for the unification match because we all know typical WWE booking was either going to end in a DQ or it's going to be a no contest. So I didn't want to get too hyped for that. But I will say WWE did a good job at trying to hype people up for this unification match. They really did, and they started off with this segment. So I got to give them some props for that. Now, after this leads into Sami Zayn versus Nakamura. So if you guys recall last week, Sami Zayn did defeat Nakamura via countout. This was actually a great match. I actually really liked it. I think I liked this a little bit better than the match for last week. Sami Zayn rocking the Bloodline t-shirt. Sami Zayn is just really good at what he does. So it kind of almost ended the same way. So Sami Zayn did a driver to Nakamura on the outside, and then he ran back inside. Nakamura barely beat the count. And then he sent Sami Zayn face first into the ring post. Then he got sent over to the timekeeper's area, and then Nakamura almost won by count up, but Sami Zayn barely beat the count. And then Nakamura hit him with the Kinshasa, and he won. So not a bad match. Like I said, good match, great match. I actually enjoyed it, and it was a clean finish, which is what matters. Okay, then we get the Hoppy Talk segment, and I really don't want to talk about this. It was just boring. It was just Baron Corbin coming out, cutting his usual promo. Like, seriously. So he was basically talking about how tall he is, how handsome he is, that he has a $12,000 hat, ripped off, by the way, that's $12,000, a $7,000 watch, that he got rid of Madcap Moss from the WWE. I really did not enjoy this segment. He did, I will say, Dave Meltzer did report that whole injury thing for Madcap Moss is it's just kayfabe, and they did it to write him off TV so that they can repackage him. So that means he's going to probably be gone for a while, because knowing WWE, they take forever to repackage people. It's like they want us to suffer every week with these Happy Talk segments. Yeah, amen to that. I just did not enjoy this. But I will say the one thing that did catch my attention about this segment is that while Baron Corbin was destroying the Andre the Giant statue, Michael Cole on commentary said that the Andre the Giant Battle Royal has jumpstart many careers. Really? It had. Really? It jumpstarted many careers? Name one person whose career took off because he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I believe there's been 7 winners. And out of 7, only Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss are the only 2 still left with the WWE. Because everybody else released or asked for their release. So let's see the winners. So the first winner, Cesaro, gone. Second winner, Big Show, gone. Third winner, Baron Corbin, now Happy Corbin, still with the company. Fourth winner, Mojo Rawley, gone. Released, I should say. The fifth winner, Matt Hardy, released. The sixth winner, Braun Strowman, released. Seventh winner, Jey Uso, still with the company, and the eighth winner, Madcap Moss, still with the company, but is getting repackaged. So what does that tell you about the careers taking off? Thank goodness, thank God, they repackaged for Moss. Get rid of his corny bad jokes. Yeah, definitely. I said this before. Madcap Moss is not a terrible wrestler, but that gimmick was just not working for him. It really wasn't. Okay. So then we get Gunther versus Drew Gulak. What can I say about this? This was basically a squash match. I feel sorry for Drew Gulak. Gunther wins this. Then Ricochet comes out to aid Drew Gulak. So in WWE terms, we're probably gonna get ourselves a tag team match player. Holla, because it's probably be Drew Gulak and Ricochet versus Gunther, and I forgot that guy's name. Drew Gulak would be released. Really? You think so? Okay. So then we get a Max Dupree segment, formerly LA Knight. He says that he's here He's the CEO of a male model agency. Someone who's going to headline Paris Fashion Week and headline WrestleMania. So I don't know about you guys, but when I heard male model, like, I don't know if you guys seen the movie Zoolander with starring Ben Stiller, but pretty hilarious movie. I think it's from like the year 2000, so it's like a 20-year-old movie, 22 years now. And when he said male models, that was like the first thing that came to my head is male models and like him doing Blue Steel. So I'm intrigued. I want to see where this goes before I criticize it. Like I said, I thought of Zoolander. Did anybody else think of Zoolander, or is it just me? But if you don't know who Zoolander is, if you've never heard of Zoolander, Google it. It's a movie starring Ben Stiller about male models. Pretty funny movie. Michael, I don't know if you've seen Zoolander. I know you do your movie at the Salvation Armies. So let me know if you've seen it, or if you found it, or if you have it. And then we get an RKBro segment. The gist of this segment, again, it's just to hype up the Unification match at the end of SmackDown. Then we get Shotzi versus Raquel Rodriguez. So mind you, this match, I've seen that movie. Mind you, this match happened because last week, Shotzi said that Raquel Rodriguez stole her opportunity at the Open Challenge. Let me see. Michael 101591 says, another star that suffered from WWE's name change for no reason. They should have kept him as LA Knight. His last name, Dupri. Might as well have him speaking French. Oh, because of Rene Dupri? Yeah. So, by the way, never seen Zoolander, but I have heard of it. You've never seen Zoolander? You should check it out. It's a funny movie. I recommend. If you like Ben Stiller, he stars in that movie. So definitely recommend and check it out. All right. So before the start of this match, Shotzi is basically saying that Raquel Rodriguez is 6 feet of disappointment. That she's a choker. I've been waiting to use this. Thank God for the perfect opportunity. So, I think Shotzi forgot that she said I quit to Ronda Rousey. You know, just look right there. Just look right there at the little light thing and just forget that you said I quit within a matter of seconds to Ronda Rousey. Yeah, just look right there. So, yeah, she obviously forgot she said I quit. Calling Raquel Rodriguez a choker, yeah. So then this leads into the match. And I have to say, like, the match made Raquel Rodriguez look good. Made her look very dominant, but it didn't do it. Michael, you finally found the pic. Yeah, I found it like 2 weeks ago, and I had just been waiting for the right time to use it. So I finally found it, and I'll keep using it more whenever something like that happens. And so this match did not do any favors for Shotzi. It really did not. Like, she got dominated. She really did. And I just felt really bad for her. That speaks volumes as to how WWE and let me see, Damo, you picked the right pick. Thanks. It just speaks volumes as to how WWE thinks of Shotzi. First of all, they separated her from Tia Nox. They took her tank. They changed her attire. She was forced to say I quit to Ronda Rousey, and now she's losing to Raquel Rodriguez. That just goes to show you how much they value her. Smiley Raquel, she should be called Shotzi, is another one that's going to be on the next set of releases. Yeah. And mind you, they did this on the while they're having controversy with Sasha Banks and Naomi. Mind you, they did that. I don't know where the logic fits in all of this. I really don't. Okay. Then we get Xavier Woods versus Butch. We have seen this match many times in many different forms. The New Day has been feuding with Fight Night for months now. Ridge Holland broke Big E's neck, so we could not do the 3-man versus street-man tag match like WWE wanted to do. We need to move on from this feud because I'm so sick and tired of this feud. I'm tired of seeing this match. I'm tired of seeing any combination of this match. And we need to move on and have them do something else. It says, I'm tired of seeing this feud. They're doing it to drag it out until Big E returns. When Big E comes back, we're going to get that 6-man tag. No, honestly, like, if Big E can come back, like, we just need to move on from this. Like, we need to move on. And it looks like we might because, even though, okay, Xavier Woods wins this match. Like, he won the last one. Butch assaults him. Then at the end, what happens is Woods says he's tired of this. And he is going to end it next week. Hopefully it does end next week. And he's not the only one tired of this feud. We're all tired of this feud. He says he's going to bring in a partner that Sheamus, Butch, and Ridge Holland don't like. And yeah, it's going to happen next week. So who do you guys think the partner is? I'm thinking he's going to be Drew McIntyre. I mean, like, it makes the most sense, I guess. Cesaro's no longer with the company. I would have picked him too. But I don't know. I really don't. Okay, so after this, then that's when we get the announcement of the Sasha Banks and Naomi. I did talk about that in the beginning, but just to reiterate, they've been suspended indefinitely and been stripped of their tag titles, and it's going to be a tournament to crown new tag team champions. A huge slap in the face to Sasha Banks and to Naomi. Where are you going to get the teams to make the tournament? How many teams are going to be in this tournament? Why, you're going to have 3 teams? Who's going to be the 4th one? You're going to call someone up from NXT? You're going to throw 2 random people together because you realize you don't have enough team to establish a division? Like, seriously, these tag titles are jokes. They're just props. Good for Sasha Banks and Naomi for wanting to make them mean something. But they're just going to be props and jokes until they actually mean something. I mean, I've been saying this for a while. You should just unify the main roster tag team champions, women's tag team titles, and NXT women's tag team titles, because there is no division. Let me see. McIntyre, of course. Oh, why are they doing a tournament for the women's tag team titles? There is no division. Exactly. You have Shayna Baszler, Natty, Doudrop and Nikki ASH, and what? Carmella and Zelina? Oh, but wait. Carmella and Zelina split up, right? They split up. Oh, no, they didn't. Now they're a tag team again, right? They're a tag team? You might as well throw in Dana Brooke and Tamina in there too. Like, seriously, it doesn't matter. These tag titles, this division doesn't freaking matter. And they're not going to continue to matter. And I honestly hope Sasha Banks and Naomi don't re-sign with the WWE. Whether they go to AEW, it remains to be seen. Should they go to AEW? Maybe Naomi. I don't know if Sasha's going to go. Maybe she'll go to Hollywood. I don't know. And honestly, I'm just sick. I don't know. Like, watch the titles go back to Carmella and Zelina. Yeah. Oh, and speaking of Zelina too also made history. It wasn't just the inspiration. Oh, just to veer off topic a little bit here. The inspiration, when they left WWE, they went to Impact and became the first women's tag team to hold the WWE women's tag titles and the Knockouts tag titles. So Zelina actually made history too. She's the first woman to hold the Knockouts tag titles and the WWE tag titles. So she made history too. So good for Zelina Vega, if she's still Queen Zelina. So then in the main event, we get the Unification match, RKBro versus Usos, and it was not a bad match. It looked like Matt Riddle got injured or potentially got injured. I don't know. They didn't say anything, and he still finished the match. So I'm not entirely sure what was up with that. I don't know how I feel about Roman Reigns getting involved in this, but you know what? At least we got a clear, concise finish, and it didn't end in a DQ, and it didn't end in a no contest. The Usos are now the new unified tag team champions, and at the end of the match, they put Riddle through the announce table. Jimmy jumped and almost missed. He barely landed, and that's how SmackDown ends. SmackDown was all over the place. A couple things I did like Sami Zayn versus Nakamura. I like the male model thing. We'll see where that goes. Raquel looked good. Feel bad for Shotzi. Main event, I'm just surprised it ended in a clear, concise finish. Feel bad for Riddle in the main event. I'm surprised there was no DQ, no contest during this. Usos made history, but thanks to Roman. Yep, definitely. SmackDown is a 2 out of 10. I'm going to be generous and give it a 3 out of 10 just because it was okay. Actually, no, it was not okay. It was not. I'm going to give it for what it is. A 3 out of 10. SmackDown was terrible. What was the better show? Rampage. And I don't want anybody listening or watching this to think that I'm being biased and, every week you pick Rampage. I'm just going to keep it real. Like, Rampage was better than SmackDown. But Rampage wasn't even wasn't that of a strong show. Wasn't that much of a strong show either. And you know something? I don't know about you guys, but to me, SmackDown after Rampage just hits differently. It's like, just feels like it's a chore to watch. SmackDown before Rampage, I'd rather do that because then it's like, okay, like your Friday night is ending on a high note. But after, no. What do you guys think? What do you guys prefer? SmackDown after Rampage or SmackDown before Rampage? But SmackDown sucks every week. All right, well, thank you. Rampage will always beat SmackDown. Yeah, probably. We'll see. All right, well, with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching. And for your continued support, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys on Monday after Raw. Bye.